The yard of this house is a patch of weeds at best. So the question that we're going to answer today on Sweet Tea is, what can we do with the yard and how much is it going to cost? Welcome to Sweet Tea Hospitality. I'm Karen Conrad, and in today's episode, we are going to cover how to create a beautiful outdoor space. We're on site in Cocoa Beach, Florida at the Beachside Bungalow, and this was definitely a challenge that we had. Do you know, oftentimes when we purchase a home, we're so focused on the inside of the house that we overlook the outside, and that can certainly be a problem with unexpected expense. Or you can take the approach that we did and we use that to create an opportunity to add value to the home that others missed. We wanted to make sure that we were adding to the return on investment, that we're increasing the profitability. So we're going to take you step by step through how we developed a vision for this outdoor space and created an oasis that we know our vacation rental guests are going to love. And they're going to choose this house over others for their beachside vacation. When you drive into the property, there is some rough things that we saw and we're going to work on fixing. For example, when you come in to the right, there is a really rough fence. Part of it's actually falling down. So we are going to definitely fix that. But also we had to imagine this space. We've got a large concrete area. It's a small house, so there's no doubt we've got to figure out how to create some nice outdoor spaces. We are 1 block from the beach, and so people are able to walk in like a minute and get to the beach, which is great. But then when they come back, they're going to have sand on their feet, and we need a place to rinse off. So as we are reimagining this space, our plan is to, of course, replace the fence. We are going to use the concrete stain on the concrete, create a little porch area with bamboo shades. So we've got a little seating area with a grill. And then we're going to bring in pavers in this area to create another space for people to relax and sit outside. We're going to add a shower back here with the pavers. That's going to look really nice and sort of clean up this area with the air conditioner. So it looks very rough right now, and it is rough, but I'm just so excited for us to bring some beauty into this space. There's a lot of options here, and I want to look at it so that I'm seeing with my eye, that I can see the pavers and I can see the house color with it. And so I'm just opening it up and kind of closing one eye, and I'm looking at sandstone, and I'm thinking that's a little too brown. So I want to get out of the browns. Here's cemented deal. That's got a little gray in it, but really it looks almost exactly the same color as the existing concrete, so that's not going to give me the freshness. And now I'm looking at this fresh concrete, and I'm just seeing that it goes with the pavers. It goes with the mulch, although that's going to change. It gives enough contrast to the color of the house that I think this is the one. I think it's going to look really nice with all of them together.
Well, we learned a big lesson on the yard.
Yes.
A little double sod treatment we had back there. I ordered some Bahia grass, and
What is that?
well, it's like a southern wild grass that doesn't need much water and it's really resilient. However, it's a little clumpy as well, and it has a lot of like that in it. So trying to save some money. Got 5 pallets of that stuff. Had Benicio and his guys lay it out, and I was like, this is gonna work out great. It did not work out great. It was too lumpy. People were falling down. They couldn't traverse from the back of the house to the shed because of this lumpy grass. So
We were worried about losing a couple people back there.
yeah,
Like, where'd they go? They
they
never came back.
They fell in the Bahia. It happens. Yeah, so we ended up paying Benicio to come back,
Uh-oh.
tear up all of the grass that he had laid, build a brick paver walkway, which looks amazing. I'm really glad
It
that
does.
we got the getting the walkway, I think was worth, going through the pain of having to tear out the grass. And then we're going to get some good grass, some high quality St. Augustine grass around the walkway.
It looks
And
so good.
sometimes when you try to save money on a project, it ends up costing you more. And this is a great example of that.
I'm back at my office in the workshop in Southlake, Texas, and really trying to figure out here what we can do to expand the space to the outdoors, because it's so small and we've got this yard, but it's completely not practical and definitely not conducive to being able to spend time outside. So here's some of the issues that we were considering in figuring out how to deal with this. First of all, the fence is wore out and it was falling down. We didn't know if we owned the fence or if the neighbor owned the fence. And so we had to figure that out by talking to the tenants in the property. And we realized that that fence was owned by the neighbors. So we did one try at reaching out to the owner of that property to see if they would work with us to replace that fence. And unfortunately, we didn't hear anything back. And so we just went ahead and got a bid to completely replace the fence on that one side. And let me tell you, it looks amazing. You know, sometimes we don't realize in our space, we've got maybe areas that we're looking at something that is unsightly, or maybe it's a fence that is broken down, or it's a chain link, or something that just isn't pleasant to look at. I'm telling you that if you invest in changing out a fence, it's much less oftentimes than what you expect, and it can completely change the look of the property. And that was definitely the case with this. The driveway was awkward. It had 2 paths of concrete, and they were all kind of broken up. We knew with a vacation rental, we needed to have that driveway really look nice. That's the first impression that somebody's going to have of the property. And because it's on a busy street, we wanted it to accommodate 2 cars. And the way that it was, it really would only accommodate 1 car. So we went back and forth on what to do, but we ultimately decided to go ahead with the pavers and to extend the pavers all the way over to the fence line. Not only did it open up the space to allow 2 cars to come in and park at an angle, but my goodness, it was so much more pleasant to pull up into that space, and it went right up to the carport that we were eyeing to turn into something that was very practical. So remember, we've got this really small kitchen. We've got a fairly small dining room. We maximize the space for the living space as much as possible. But if we had a family of 5 or even 6 people staying there, they would feel completely on top of each other. And so what we had to think of, and this is something for you to consider too, maybe you live in a small house, or maybe you have an investment property or want to purchase one. Remember, you don't always have to have the square footage inside the walls of the house. If you think about those outdoor spaces and you create them in a way that feels like an extension of the inside of the house, you're going to get the value of a bigger living space without spending the money. So with the carport, there's a fluorescent light that was kind of above shining down. We just replaced that with a ceiling fan with a light, and that helped a lot right there. And then we got the concrete paint. This time we got it from Sherwin-Williams, and we rolled it out, and it turned that ugly concrete stained area into something that looked like a beautiful patio. And I made sure that I had the pavers tying into the color we used on the concrete, and then on the pavers again on the other end. And so it was like this fluid look all the way back, and the colors tied into the inside of the house. And to top it off, and this is probably my favorite part of this space, I got some outdoor shades that were very inexpensive, though a nice quality, that we installed on the inside of that carport. And when we pull them down, it actually blocks out all sight to the traffic, and it creates like this cozy little eating space that really feels more like a dining room than an outside space. When we looked at the backyard, it was big and we were very excited about it, but it was really pretty much just a bundle of weeds at best. So we had to think through how we were going to turn that messy area into something that was very practical. And one of the things we did, in addition to adding the pavers, is we added an outdoor shower. And this was really what I thought was a luxury item, but the cost of it was so small. The parts itself were only $45. Now, Dave designed this whole way that it was going to go on the back of the house, and we hired someone to come in, a plumber, and install it. But it's got a shower head on top, and it's got a foot shower, which when you think about it, coming in from the beach, especially as a vacation rental, we want people cleaning those feet off so that we're not experiencing the wear and tear of sand or vacuuming constantly. And it really added to the back of the house. We also just bought some inexpensive Adirondack chairs, and for half price, while we were wandering through Lowe's, we found an amazing gas fire pit for just $249, and I'm telling you, it was a real find. So all together, as we looked at this project, we successfully expanded space on the outside of the house that really feels like an expansion from the inside. We're in the Sweet Tea Workshop in Southlake, Texas, and we're just so excited about the beachside bungalow. And one of the highlights of this property is really the outdoor spaces. Because it's such a small space, we had to make sure we had room to like spread out, room to grow, but also the weather's so amazing.
Oh, so nice.
We love being outside. And one of the areas that we really enjoy is the area that we've got the fire pit, and it's a gas one. But you and I hadn't really worked with one of those before, so you had quite the situation trying to get that to work one night.
I did. It was one of the first times of lighting it, and there are instructions, but you know, sometimes guys don't read instructions. I try to, but I just thought, well, what's to this? You turn on the gas.
What's so tough about this, right?
You push a button, but it wasn't lighting, so I got the little candle lighter in there and had it going for a while while I'm figuring it out, and I hit the lighter, and woof,
oh my goodness.
the gas came on. So then I'm having to decide, okay, there's no hair on this arm. Should I shave this arm to match it?
One of those things. Like,
I'm walking around
like, yes,
with
I'm
hairy
a real estate
arm.
investor, you know.
Yeah, watch out for those.
Watch out for those. But it was such a great deal at Lowe's, and I'll tell you what, there's
Half price.
Half price. And just something about sitting outside in the Adirondack chairs in the evening.
Yeah, it kind of cools down a little bit.
It does.
So but the ambiance is beautiful.
It's beautiful. And, with the vacation rental, you think about hospitality, like what can we do to just really make this feel special to our guests? And a fire pit outside is one of the best ways to do it. So
it is. You kind of enter into a little space where conversation is enjoyable, but you're all mutually experiencing this flame that's kind of dancing through the glass.
Yes.
They look like different colors, and as
Yes.
the glass heats, they change a little bit. And it's just a beautiful experience sitting out there together.
It is. It just
Yeah.
makes it fun. I love sharing with you how the Lord helped us in each episode, and He was there every step of the way. And when we are looking at trying to figure out what to do with those outdoor spaces, He was definitely showing us how to expand the living space outside and really make it a place where people would enjoy spending time. And really, hospitality, isn't that what it's all about? Especially when you have a vacation rental, think about it. All the people that are coming through that property, we have an opportunity to give them a glimpse of God's love, the peace of God, and really make each space, including the outside, something that is a blessing and something that they can see the beauty and the goodness of God. In this situation, because the yard and the outside was really not looking great, we had to get a vision for the outside of this property. And it reminds me of a scripture in Isaiah 54:2, and I'm going to read this to you in the English Standard Version. It says this: "Enlarge the place of your tent, and let the curtains of your habitation be stretched out. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords and strengthen your stakes." Do you ever feel like your circumstances are limited, or you have this glass ceiling and God is encouraging you to enlarge yourself, to take some new territory, gain some new ideas, and activate those? In other words, we have to remember to take the limits off of God. You are bigger than you think. And that was the story with this house. We had to look at this house and just say, you are bigger than you think. And with that, we were able to extend the inside of the home to the outside and make it feel that this little house was able to live large. The outdoor space was an area we spent the most money on improvements, and it was a tough decision. We want to make sure that we didn't over-invest in the outdoor spaces, yet we realized for the beachside bungalow to really be that vacation rental destination for people, we had to leverage the outdoor spaces and really expand the living area. So here are the breakdown of costs. The fence was $2,200. We think that we got a really good deal on this because we used the same person and group of workers to do the pavers. The pavers was by far the biggest expense item of this entire property, and it was $7,700. We really tried to do as much as we could ourselves, but we knew with pavers, the process with that was really tedious and we had to know what we're doing. So we were pretty adventurous at the beginning, thinking we can do pavers. And then as we looked into it, we realized, oh no, we do not want to do these ourselves. The next item was landscaping, and this we did a mixture. Some of the things we did ourselves, but really to get the big plants that we needed, to make sure we had the right varieties, we had a good chunk of the landscaping done by Vinicio, who actually did the pavers and the fence as well. And we spent $1,900 on landscaping. Concrete paint on the outside was $98. Really grateful. Dave and Levi knocked that out. We didn't have to pay anybody to do that. The ceiling fan, $169 in the carport. And then we chose some plastic, I guess you might say, chairs. And I don't like to say that because you and I have sat on plastic that's very uncomfortable and cheap. But these chairs we got at Ace Hardware of all places, and they're super comfortable and durable. So we got 4 Adirondack chairs. I got pillows to really tie in the colors from the inside again to make sure that we are bringing that living to the outside. And that fire pit we got half price. So that whole seating area was just $465. We got chase lounges and a table that went back by the actual shed, and that we spent $279, and that's not a lot of money, but I do want to share something with you. We made sure that we got aluminum for that, and the reason is it's more durable, especially being close to the ocean. Patio table and 6 chairs, I got that at Lowe's. It's out of season, so I got a really great deal on it. It was just $879. And that was the one that we took the Rust-Oleum and made sure we went over, sprayed all of the exposed metal areas just to make sure we had that additional coverage. The outdoor shower, including Travis, who put that in for us, was just $159. You really got to check out this design. Dave did a great job with it. And then we're adding the hooks for the wetsuits and towels that's kind of close to that area, and that's just $60. So the total amount invested for the outside spaces, $13,909. Thank you for joining me today for Sweet Tea Hospitality, where we showed you how to create an outdoor space that is actually an oasis. And even though there was a little investment in the property, we know that what we did is going to create a lot of value on the other side of this for profitability. If you've enjoyed this, I want to encourage you to watch episode 5, where we're going to talk about how to bring heart into the vacation rental and really make this the beachside bungalow. If you want to see all the episodes, go to sweettea.tv and you can purchase this entire series along with a renovation guide. Or if you just want to watch episodes in a single fashion, you can go to liftable.tv. And if you want to learn about a fix and flip, I encourage you to check out our project called the Coastal Cottage, and you can find that at sweettea.tv. I'm Karen Conrad. Thank you so much for being a part of this program, and I'll see you next time on Sweet Tea Hospitality.